a year of YouTube and a couple hundred videos published. I monetized back a few months ago, roughly about 6 months ago now. Let's take a look at how much money I'm actually making from my YouTube channel and break it all down. So thanks for watching. I've been at this YouTube thing for just about a year. I just hit the 1-year anniversary. We're sitting here in July of 2022. I did monetize the channel back in February, which by all feedback and accounts that I've seen is pretty good progress, or pretty good rate to be able to reach that point. It's been a few months now of being monetized, and I have a bunch of data that I'd like to share. I've watched a whole bunch of these types of videos from other channels. I found them very useful. I find them very interesting. And so I'm just doing this video as a way of giving back to other creators, other folks that are considering doing this YouTube thing, and sharing my information. There's really no reason not to. There's nothing to hide about it. And yeah, so let's take a look here. I've got my M1 MacBook Pro. I'm using the Microsoft Edge browser, looking at YouTube Studio, the web page for my Techthusiasm channel. If I move the view to lifetime, you can get an idea kind of how some of the general channel progression has been. I'm knocking on the door of 300,000 total views across all the videos published over the course of that year. We've got about 19,000 total watched hours. I hit my watched hours for monetization much earlier than I did the subscribers, actually. I don't know if that's the case or what everybody's experience is there. Sitting a little over 2,100 subscribers. That number's been kind of all over the map, but kind of as you can see looking at these charts, right, things are generally continuing for me, for the channel, trending up quite nicely. And for all of that effort, all of that time, and that number of months, again, since mid to late February, being monetized, my estimated accumulated revenue is sitting at just over $800. So let's go over to the revenue tab itself, and here we can take a look at kind of the total lifetime earnings of the channel. Again, I didn't get monetized until February, so the whole lifetime, most of the lifetime of the channel actually, is a flat goose egg, a zero there. And then right away, this chart is per day, so you can see the squiggliness involved, but it's pretty consistently sitting around that like $6 a day mark. So I shot up to that $6 a day mark kind of very early. I had some leaner times here where I was making more like $3-ish a day. I'm finding very difficult to understand the rhyme and reason behind how Google and YouTube prices the value of my content. It fluctuates wildly. I had a pretty massive day here. My best day ever back Saturday, May 28th, was a $15 a day. That dropped right off the bat. And we've kind of been up and down a little bit since then. A little bit of a trailing off trend here, which is kind of a bummer, but it's the way it goes. I don't understand, quite honestly, all of the different elements that go in to YouTube establishing how much my stuff is worth, how much they're going to pay. We do have these RPM and CPM values. These numbers do reflect your earnings. So CPM is supposed to be basically the value per 1,000 clicks or 1,000 views that your content gets, basically what YouTube is charging subscribers, as I understand it. So I'm sitting here kind of an aggregate of about $13 a day. And my RPM, which is my share, revenue per milla, tells me how much of the $13.32 I actually earn, and we're sitting at $2.90. So what is that? Less than a quarter, basically, revenue share. Pretty low. If I move it to just like the last 28 days, it's a little bit higher. Here, 464. Last 7 days, 417. Last 90 days, 474. So always roughly in the same band that I've kind of established for myself and established for the channel. Keep in mind, if we pop back here just to overview, in terms of number of views per day, I'm currently knocking on the door of getting a reliable 2,000 views a day. There was quite a bit of stretch of time here through my monetization, basically from February all the way up till about May, where I was averaging more like 1,000 views a day. and things have really improved in the last couple of months and building strong with some big spikes and some drops, but overall trending kind of up from there. So again, giving an idea of kind of equating how much money for this level of views. Of course, the more views, the more money. It is directly correlated to each other. If we look at some of these other tables, I think that are interesting to check in on. Monthly estimated revenue. February was quite low. Again, I monetized towards the end of the month, sometime around like the 20th or 21st. But the March, April, May, June now are 4 complete months of time that have expired. So March, $175, April, $152, May up nicely to $183, and June increasing nicely from there to $19.99. So that $152 was, again, where I kind of had this pullback, kind of this inexplicable value pullback on the channel, but it's rebounded quite nicely and moved up. A couple of other interesting elements, I guess. Top earning content. The cord cutting stuff is at the top. These are some of my most viewed videos ever, some tens of thousands of views there. Of course, a lot of those views happened before I was monetized, so I don't have the full revenue share of those. People certainly liked watching about my installation and procurement of the LG G2 OLED and some of the other home theater topics. Revenue sources. I always find this interesting. So much of the revenue coming from just ads and not from YouTube Premium. I don't know how many subscribers YouTube has for Premium. I know I'm a subscriber. I much prefer using YouTube Premium, paying for it that way rather than paying for it with the ads. But there's quite a massive gap here. And a little while ago, I did unlock the ability to get the super thanks. I think I've received 2 of them. Thanks for the folks that took the time to do that. So I've got $2.38 in revenue from 2 like a couple dollar super thanks that folks had made. Ad types, skippable video ads is the bulk of it there, non-skippable the next part, and then some of the other ads that pop up kind of as you go, and then additional transaction revenue, again, just the $2.38 in a couple of super thanks. I really haven't gotten my channel into live streaming yet, and I do a lot of premieres. Nobody's as yet seen fit to pay a super chat or pay during a premiere. As I continue to develop the channel and grow the channel, I think I will get into some live streams and hopefully some other ways to maybe find some extra revenue out of the channel. I also, at the time that I'm recording this, I'm planning to launch memberships soon. I just recently opened the ability to set those up on the channel, and we'll see if I get any takers there. If we look at the full charts here, though, in terms of RPM, again, pretty consistent. My RPM actually was overall higher at times in the past than it kind of has been of late. It trails off. I can't explain it. I can't describe it. And even my CPM there, you can see just recently kind of took a big dive, and we're just starting to ratchet back up again. So yeah, that's it. So for roughly 5 months of time, $800, averaging just under or hovering just under, essentially about $200 a month. I guess we are very early July, and it was very late February, so let's call it $200 a month, $2,400 a year. I hope to really see a whole lot more views and a whole lot more development go with the channel. This is a 2,100, just over 2,100 subscriber channel. Yeah, when you see YouTube creators, especially us newer folks, the smaller folks, understand that we're doing this because we're having fun doing it. We're doing it because it's interesting. We're developing skills. You know, we're basically finding it interesting in and of itself, or rewarding to us personally, because yeah, nobody's quitting their day job for quite a while, I think, on YouTube, until you find a very, very large, much more significantly large audience. And even then, bigger channels and how this spools up, I don't necessarily think it's always linear. So if you really want to help support your favorite channels, your favorite creators, your favorite YouTube folks, especially the small ones, like, subscribe, watch the videos, hit the bells. All of that stuff matters. It all helps in the algorithm. It all helps in the presentation of our videos to other people, and more, helping us to get exposed to more folks through Google search and through the Google presentation. And if you want to support your creators very directly, do those super chats, do those memberships, do those super thanks. keep the creator economy moving. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments. I'll probably give it another few months and maybe update this video, especially if I see any breaks or significant changes in terms of the structure of my payouts, or how the estimated revenue and the earnings begin to track as channel hopefully continues, on a nice, significantly up and to the right growth path. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe, hit the bell for notification. All that stuff, very much appreciated.